NFL players are going to be playing flag football in the 2028 Olympics. Gotta say, it was kind of a shock to me. I know I put it as a post today in our on the YouTube page, but it was kind of a shock to me. So yeah, NFL flag football will make its Olympic debut in Los Angeles in 2028, right by you, Teja, so you'll be able to go to those games. I think I might want to come visit you around that time, but I also feel like it's going to be a freaking madhouse or zoo around that time. But
yeah,
when
I'm leaving myself and just putting my place up for rent for a while, it makes some you know.
You definitely could.
Yeah.
So NFL owners voted on Tuesday to allow players in the league to participate in the flag football competition at the upcoming 2028 games. 32-0. So there was no owners that voted against it. It was a unanimous 32-0. And you see these guys, they don't vote unanimously at all for anything. But the fact that it was a 32-0 was very surprising. And Commissioner Roger Goodell had a bit to say on that.
A great opportunity for the sport, for the NFL. It's truly the next step in making NFL football and football a global sport for men and women of all ages and all opportunities across the globe. We think that's the right thing to do, and this is a big step in accomplishing that. For our players, we think it's a tremendous opportunity for them to represent their country, to compete for a gold medal, which is the pinnacle of global sports. It's something that I think all professional athletes, and we have two here today that will speak to this, that across many different sports, the opportunity to play for your country and to win a gold medal or any medal is a wonderful and an honor to be able to do.
So, yeah, that was Roger Goodell talking about the global impact that flag football will have on the sport, growing the sport internationally. And then today, NFL insider Jeff Darlington said he spoke to Patrick Mahomes about playing, and he quoted saying, talking to Patrick Mahomes about it, for instance, I think there will be stars that want the gold medal. It adds something to their resume. Mahomes, I think, wants to do it, which kind of brings a whole different dynamic to this whole thing. So, right, I get an owner said, yes, 32-0, yeah, 32, all 32 said they could play in it. But we're also talking about Patrick Mahomes here. I know people in the chat, Patrick Mahomes does things that flag football quarterbacks do. I try to mimic what Patrick Mahomes does when we play. And luckily, because I've been playing flag football for the last 10 years, we have a lot of B-roll that I have for this segment. So I'm going to be playing a lot of my flag football highlights during the segment as we talk about flag football, of course, because why not? But we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, a guy who played pickup basketball a couple of years ago, and all he did was do a little crossover. And it's not contact sports, because flag football, while it is flags, there's a lot of contact that happens in flag. But Brett Veach calls Patrick Mahomes' agent and tells him, hey, no more of that, no more basketball. So he can't even play pickup basketball, but now he's going to be playing in July. He's going to be playing flag football, which can be somewhat of a contact sport. Were you kind of surprised with this whole thing? And do you think there's going to be kind of backdoor talks? Well, yes, 32 owners said yes to it, but wink, wink, some of our guys, we're going to be having talks to them and telling them not to play flag football. What's kind of your thoughts on this whole thing?
I think there's a team problem and an NFL problem, right? So yeah, really, you're plugging yourself and your team over there, huh?
Well, it's flag football B-roll,
Yeah,
I couldn't use NFL
Tapper style.
yeah, got it. Well, I couldn't use USA flag football content. So I'm gonna use my flag content. I'm full of it. I got a lot of it.
To you. So one, I think, is a team mandate. You have an NFL mandate, right? I think there's a little difference there, but as far as the NFL is concerned, it's pretty simple. And I didn't even hear Goodell's comments on it. I just knew the headline. I didn't actually hear his comments until you just played it. But everything I was going to say about this, he basically just explained it, because it's all about money. That's all that matters. If we get paid, we'll excuse a lot of things. And like you just said a minute ago, not a lot of times all 32 teams agree on something. That just shows you, they all agree on green, okay? That's one thing they're all in on. So there are just so many ways to make money off this entire thing. One, you can get involved with even more of the female demographic, which they'd love to tap into even more, which Swift helped out with. But this will help out even more, because there are a lot of co-ed flag teams, right? And then you just talk about the actual Olympics itself. So the marketing of the international. I mean, he just wants to expand, and this just helps. It's so big for the NFL. If a player or two blows their ACL, that's collateral damage for them to make so much money it won't even matter. So I think no matter what, I think there'll be enough guys who want to market themselves and make money off of it for their own brand. So I think they'll have plenty of guys who will do it. And I think, some teams will tell some of their certain guys don't do it, but they're all agreeing to it. So they obviously know they're going to lose some of their players to this. Not lose as in like lose their like because of injury. I mean, lose them to eligibility. They'll allow them because I mean, like, why would you okay this and be like, all right, guys, I just voted to approve this. No one on the team's allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense, right? So.
Yeah. So, and one of those things too, it's I'm seeing here, Casey Colossal says, I see it no different than Jordan playing on Olympics teams or USA teams. I will say it is different for the fact that this is Summer Olympics, right? So this will probably be June, July, and what training camps like the couple weeks after this ends. I'm gonna have to assume, right? Whereas basketball, that's Summer Olympics, but these guys aren't playing. They're not going back out there until like late September, October for training camp. So they have a couple months rest. There is no rest. And like I talk about, basketball, pick up basketball. It's physical to an extent, but flag football, there's a lot of collisions that happen on the field here. And some of these clips, and this is just, low level men's leagues in DC, but like, no, I'm saying, but there is collisions that happen. I mean, these guys are big body.
Oh yeah. I've seen torn ACLs in my old flag games.
As a matter of fact, last weekend in my flag league, 2 guys popped their Achilles. I mean,
I know. Yeah, there's plenty of injuries.
That's the stuff that happens, man. I mean, like,
oh yeah,
and that's scary, man. So like, yes, and here's what I think too. It's like, not that the NFL, and I get the NFL wanted to grow it, money, the expansion, totally get. They want to get the whole around the world noticing flag football or just football in general. But I do think, I don't know if this is going to be an every Olympics thing. I know every year the host country gets to select a sport that gets to be played. And I'm pretty sure the flag was the USA's one they selected. So I don't know if it's going to happen, if they're going to continue. But the one thing I will say about this is that you didn't need the NFL players to win. We have USFL. We have the Arena League guys. All those guys could dominate. They could dominate.
In fact,
let the NFL guys do that.
Let them do it. Let those guys get some notoriety and a gold medal to bring home, dude. Like, they'll still win. Like, you don't need to bring in the ringers for that. In fact, they went to the ringers for the dream team because the non-ringers finally lost, I believe. That's why I was like, all right, well, let's bring the gold back. That's why they resulted to doing that. But until like your non-ringers can't win the gold at flag, then don't take that away from them. I totally agree with that. Sorry, go on.
No, that's it too. It's you're giving these guys, you're giving these guys exposure, right? So the guys who are playing in the USFL, who are playing in the NFL, but they could showcase themselves on a USA on an Olympic stage, and that's giving them added exposure. Not to say that all these abilities in flag or translate to NFL, because it's not the same thing. I mean, it's 7-on-7 football is not the same as real football, and flag football is not very different than the NFL football. So, like, it's, just one of those things that I think it's awesome. I think it's cool, but, like, it's injury risk big time. And that's one thing that's
might even get guys make teams because of that. Like, let's say like an international quarterback that no one's ever heard of before goes out there and just, like, dominates the U.S. cornerbacks and like just throws them all over the field. I mean, they might get a tryout for an NFL team after that.
100%. It's like how what was that movie that John Hamm did, the $1 Million Arm? Where the guys goes to India to find the dude who can freaking throw a 90 miles per hour fastball. Cricket. I mean, you may see some of that. I mean, I have friends who are playing the Jamaican national team. I was actually asked to play on the Jamaican team, even though I had no roots to Jamaica, which is interesting. I'm curious to see how all those things play out and whatnot. But like, there's teams that every month there's a new like tournament going on here with these all these like Team Cuba, Team Jamaica, Team Panama, Team Dominican Republic. All these teams are going out there and playing. I'd love to see how many of those guys are actually from those countries or just joining squads. But it's gonna be interesting to see how that happens. But the fact that Mahomes USA jersey that would be sweet. I'd be toting that thing around, man.
NFL is going to make a lot of money off this. They're going to get a piece of the pie. They're not going to, you got to pay the vig, all right? And they're going to pay the vig big time. So
big time.
They're not getting out of here with something, to quote Denzel. They're leaving here with something.
Yeah. Stanley Mooney. Yeah, Tage, I could see Mahomes in a USA jersey on a Wheaties box. Pros and cons.
Yeah. Wheaties is like the cherry on top, man.
It's the pinnacle.
You're gonna get the whole ice cream and the whipped cream and the chocolate sauce and all of it.
Well, and it's funny to see Darlington say, talking about Patrick Mahomes better. For instance, I think there will be players that want gold medals that add something to the resume. What's the one thing that? Well, okay, I know people don't want to talk about the whole resume, the body of work, the GOAT conversations, all that stuff. But what would be the one thing that Tom Brady doesn't have that Mahomes would have is a gold medal, right? He may not get the amount of rings that Brady has by the end, but I brought a gold medal. I brought the only flag football gold medal to the United States that you didn't do.
That flag.
Well, these guys are. I mean, I'm just saying these guys are ego. These guys have big egos. We love Patrick Mahomes, but in their own minds, their resume is kind of pairing up and going against these other guys. And what's the one thing I have that you don't have? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's his goal, but hearing Darlington say that, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, especially if it's the only one, maybe, then yeah, they could just for the novelty of doing the only one. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, and it might be the only it might be the only one. Like I said, every host country gets to select it. And that's the thing too. If flag football catches on after this, then it becomes an every 4-year thing where that becomes a staple in the summer sports.
Have these highlights repeated, or this is all new?
This is one
long one.
This is one long one. I may be.
It hasn't repeated yet, has it?
Nope.
Good for you.
Dude, that's the thing. I have a lot of flag football content.
This is a different view. I don't think we've seen this view yet. And I was like, I don't think this is repeated.
No, they're different. Nana shares, I can see Brady doing that. Well, comparing. Yeah, I mean, Brady would definitely be jealous and FOMO that he doesn't have a gold medal that Mahomes would get.
By the way, you're assuming they would want Mahomes to be their flag quarterback. I don't think Mahomes would be the best flag quarterback.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to be a fast guy, though, dude, in flag. I mean, he could throw it all over the field, dude. I mean, some of the throws he makes are flag.
Well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like Iron Man type stuff? If that's the case, I want Lamar out there playing cornerback, and I want him playing quarterback. Because what's Mahomes going to do? Mahomes going to be what, middle linebacker? What's he going to do out there?
Well, it depends. If they do 10-man, if they do 5-on-5, and they do a 10-man roster, he doesn't have to play defense.
Yeah, but would you want a guy who can possibly also play like badass cornerback in a pinch, like Lamar?
I don't know. I mean, it depends how it's constructed. There's multiple ways of playing flag. There's 7-on-7. There's 5-on-5. Yeah. I think they're going 5-on-5 route. Depends how big they allow the rosters to be made.
It's an interesting conversation to be had, though. But I don't think he's like guaranteed to be the quarterback of a Team USA flag team.
But if they're making this all about like trying to like get views and get clicks and whatnot, then you want to make that roster as big as possible.
Pretty sure everyone's tuning in to watch Lamar Jackson play flag football internationally, man.
No. I'm talking about just in general as far as what they want to do with about how big the roster they want to make it. They want to try to allow as many players to play.
That's true.
Because think about it, they can allow as many players to play. All those guys should dominate, dude. All of them should.
If they have a huge roster, then you can just you can have like different quarters for different quarterbacks, like they do in the Pro Bowl. Really?
Exactly.
Yeah. That'd be different. Yeah. Then the conversation would be all about comparing each player like they do in the NBA. Like, so-and-so played so much better in the second quarter than the other guy did. Yeah. It would be all about that because that's what we do now. We pit the guys against each other instead of just rooting for the USA team. No,
it's very true. I mean, I'll say this. I think it's cool. And I'm seeing a lot of people in here, like Barbershop. The flag football for Patrick Mahomes is high risk or reward. I mean, yeah, it's scary. And coming from two guys who were Sixers fans, right? We watched Joel Embiid play last year. Looked fine, was fine in all practices and whatnot. But then right when it comes to actually playing for his team about a month and a half, 2 months later, he wasn't right, never looked right. So, like, did an injury happen while at USA Olympics?
Oh, yeah, there's risk.
Definitely risk. And
it's not even, that's a good point. It's not about getting injured in the Olympics. It's, let's say a lot of these guys offer off-season surgery. Like, it could set you back from an injury you already had and that you were getting better at. So there's a lot of layers to this whole thing, more than just getting injured in the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day here, your thoughts on NFL are allowing? Are you okay with the NFL allowing these guys to play?
Yeah, I prefer them not to, because I mean, I think it would be fun to watch some like other guys get in there. I think either way, it's going to be a big event, but I'm not against it.
Yeah, I thought it kind of talking about the USFL aspect and like allowing those guys to play the Arena Football League guys, because I think those guys would dominate these other international teams. And also, it'd be cool to see what players who are international go play on their other countries instead of playing for Team USA. I'm curious.
That's also pretty cool.
That'd be cool to see.
That'd be really cool.
Like if Pacheco played for Team Puerto Rico, if they even have a team, if they have enough guys to
yeah. The problem is like everyone wants a shortcut to win the gold. So like.
Right, but some of those teams aren't going to have enough players to even like make it through the prelims and whatnot. Anyway, they won't even have enough players for that stuff.
There you go, man. Join one of the other teams, dude. Go try out for the Cuba national team.
I could. I mean, their quarterback's not good at all. I've watched a lot of their stuff. I follow their Team Cuba page on Instagram.
Yeah, really? That's great.
Great. No, he's not good.
He should have a good arm. I mean, that place breeds 95-mile-per-hour fastballs. So like, you better be throwing.
All right, the guy I've seen, he's got a good arm, but he's like short and husky. So if you're looking at the body, athleticism, I think I would have it over him.
As long as he's not dainty.
He's not dainty. Okay, here. Face of the league was Patrick Mahomes can't be playing no flag football. Okay, that's fair. I agree, Barbershop. I agree. I want him for fall, not Summer Olympics. Sasha, obviously Mark's going to bring on the gold. Let the NFL players rest.
It'd be really cool if it was only retired players.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be
fun.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Like the old Pro Bowl where they would play at the beach. Do you remember like when the retirement guys would play at the beach? Do you remember that?
Yeah. That'd be really fun because they'd still dominate, most likely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're thinking about guys, even like young guys, like guys retire like 29 or 30 nowadays. So like,
that's true. Like Larry Fitzgerald, I think would dominate still.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald as your two receivers. Put
Andre Brown. He retired.
Antonio Brown. The only Antonio Brown I want.
Brown can still dominate a flag football game, man.
That's not that. You don't want that guy representing your country.
He's out here dogging, killing Sanders, and that guy just got drafted.
Yeah. The only Antonio Brown I want out there is Amda Brown out there. That's the only one. That's the only one I want out there. I want Amda playing.
I was just naming retired receivers. I mean, he definitely wouldn't make it through the character concern.
No, he wouldn't. Barbershop's a big fan of the retired idea. And G-Pick says Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs not retired. He's detained.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. JD out there. JD would say no. Yeah. JD says he wants to play for our flag team. He's like a celebrity, like a red zone guy only. He says he can't be going out there and
You're Jody Fortson.
Hi everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.